So our first one comes from Sarah Himes. They are a somatic life coach, and their niche is working with women who want to have healthy, romantic relationships, even if relationships have been challenging in the past. The program's called Ready for Love, and their sequence is to offer a free quiz to see how ready for love they are, followed by freebies to help, like meditations. And then there's the option to book a 45-minute catalyst session to have a breakthrough in one area, or sign up for a 6 weeks as a one-to-one or group program. There's quite a lot in there. So the questions they want to know are, how does this sound? And if they want to tour it, like you yourself are, Tad, how do you promote it? How do you start? And I guess how does that fit into the promotion model, the touring model rather?
Okay, so in terms of the business model, it's difficult to answer because I really need to be able to sit down and look at it and see it mapped out. Um, but in terms of the touring model, right? So how does it work to tour these things? Here's my quick course on touring, and I've got I think a bundle about how to tour that you can all check out if you go to marketingforhippies.com. But the basics are this: one, get yourself a workshop that you can tour, the same workshop that you can do rinse and repeat city after city after city, so you don't have to uh, come up with something new all the time. And that's your kind of 101 workshop. You know, it's often going to be, it could be an evening thing, could be a day long thing, depending on how you want to do it. So that's one, get the workshop. Make sure you got yourself a good title for the workshop, something catchy. I mean, I like the theme, the niche of how to make these romantic relationships work great. Number two, I would pick, maybe around 5 cities that you want to go back to over and over, because so much of the benefit of this is going back to a city. Um, the first time you go, you get, it depends how good a host you have, but you can get a good response. But there's so much about the next time you go back, there's a bit of a buzz. And every time you go back, it'll be like this. If you have a good host, first time, boom. And then it may go down a little bit, but it can keep going back up. And it just gets easier and easier every time. If it's a bigger city, if it's a smaller city, you may have to wait longer for the cup to refill. But for example, in a town like London, England, I could absolutely do a workshop once a month and probably fill it with new people. Do Facebook ads or whatever I would do. I would max out my own list at a certain point. But if I just said, hey, I'm in London for a year, and every month I'm doing a workshop, tell your friends. I don't think now, in terms of could I reach them, that's a separate strategic conversation. But are there enough of my people? Yes. In a small town like Bentham, England, or something, where I went, I could reach them all in one night, and there'd be nobody else there for a few years. I have to wait 3 years to go back. Okay, so you pick cities you want to go back to, that you want to visit, where you think there'll probably be enough people um, to justify that. Number three, got to find hubs in those cities who want to host you and bring you in. Now, maybe you have a city where you could just fill it yourself, but ideally you want to find somebody who can host you, who knows the cool venues, who can handle all those logistics, can spread the word to their people. And then there's either a financial arrangement with the host or there isn't. It really depends on your connection with the host and the situation. But you can, and if it's an evening thing or what your business model is. For example, you could tour with an evening workshop, have the host hold it. They keep all the money from the evening and maybe just pay your gas. And you get all the money from what comes after, or you keep the money from the evening. And if anyone signs up for your higher end programs, you give them a cut. But these are the three basic things. One, get a workshop. Two, find some cities you want to go back to over and over again. Three, find hubs in those cities who would be a good fit to host you and bring you in. Develop a really good relationship with those hosts. And number 4, little bonus tip, is consider hosting parties or gatherings when you're in those cities on your second visit. You could do it on the first though. But you say to the hub, your local host, hey, do you know a bunch of cool people? Maybe they don't even want to come to the workshop, but good people to meet. And you have a party, and then you get to meet a lot of the hubs in a more social setting. You can also invite some of your favorite people from the workshop, some of your friends you know. And every time you go back, especially for the first few times, just consider at some point in your visit there hosting a gathering where you can get favorite past clients plus hubs, and that helps you keep the connection with these people, and makes it a lot easier to reach out to them the next time, because it's not that it was 5 years ago they went to your workshop or heard about you. They keep seeing you every year when you host these gatherings, which don't need to cost a lot, but can do a lot for your promotion. There's a lot more to say about this. Again, I've got the how to tour package, but those are some starting thoughts.
It's interesting, like when you did the retreat in London late last year. There was a
Yeah.
nice community that happened there, which seemed like a real nice social experience for people outside of the marketing classroom.
Yeah.
And also, you remind me, we've had a few post or two recently in the Facebook group about potlucks. In fact, you wrote a point of view piece on potlucks themselves,
Yeah.
to which people responded really favorably. It was a great
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, if you're going to be in a place, those social connections, especially with the hubs, especially with other people who are connected to the people you want to reach, you go to a party with somebody, at the end of the party, there's enough of a vibe. And as they shake their hand leaving, they say, tell me next time you're in town, I'll spread the word.
Nice. So I guess we'll figure out, maybe put links somewhere for the tour bundle in here. Maybe note for myself there.